If you have a business or side hustle idea, first ask yourself this question: can you describe your business in one sentence? Most people struggle in this area since they either have no concept of what they're doing or are trying to do too much. We've heard a lot of individuals talk about their brilliant company ideas, and they all sound the same to us. Oh, I'll make the next big thing, and it'll do this and that, and have this feature and that feature, and everyone will know who I am. On paper, everything appears to be in order, but that is not the case. How can you solve a simple problem with just a simple solution? Welcome to Luxsio. Today we're filling in our curious minds on why do very successful entrepreneurs start businesses that are stupid and simple. But before we dive in, click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on more of our awesome videos. I'm sure you've had to fill out a form requiring you to read a distorted series of characters to verify that you're a human and not a robot, right? Those are all a lot of fun and not at all bothersome, right? They are called CAPTCHAs, and you can thank Luis von Ahn for them. CAPTCHA was designed by him in 2003 as a simple way to avoid scammers. It proved to be extremely effective, and at one point, about 200 million CAPTCHAs were generated every single day. Filling out a CAPTCHA now takes an average 10 seconds. You get around 500,000 hours if you multiplied it by 200 million. Humanity loses time solving these irritating CAPTCHAs, therefore Luis came up with another simple solution. What if everyone who inputs a CAPTCHA contributes to the digitization of old books? Computers used to have a hard time recognizing text, especially from old books with washed-out pages. So Luis tweaked his original application and released reCAPTCHA, where in addition to proving your humanity, you help a computer copy an old book every time you enter the proper word. As a result, every website copied this method, and Google finally bought his company in 2009 for an undisclosed sum, although sources say between $10 million and $100 million. Luis' second venture was a free app that he co-founded to assist individuals in learning other languages. It's called Duolingo, and you may have heard of it before. Duolingo is now used by more people in the United States than the public school system for language learning. Luis von Ahn's network has risen to over $700 million. And this takes us to the purpose of this video. Why do very successful entrepreneurs start businesses that are stupid and simple? As well as what budding entrepreneurs are missing. Do you know how Virgin Airlines was founded by Richard Branson? It's an interesting narrative with a lot of lessons to be learned. So, Branson was set to fly to the British Virgin Islands one day when his American Airlines flight was unexpectedly cancelled. He returned to the airport, upset by the whole situation, and inquired about renting a plane. The airport had one available, so Branson boarded it, split the cost with everyone else who had missed their flight that day, and arrived in the British Virgin Islands. When he returned, he approached someone at the airport about hiring a jet for a year, and thus, Virgin Airlines was created. You might argue that you don't have Richard Branson's money and that you can't easily rent a jet if you miss a trip, but you're still missing the point. So let's take a closer look. A stupidly basic business serves a single purpose: to provide a simple answer to real people. For actual people who had their flight cancelled, Branson offered the simple solution of flying his rented plane. It is uncomplicated and simple to comprehend. It makes no difference that he had the resources to make that reality on the spot. The point is still valid. Let's talk about execution while we're on the subject of resources. Do you have any clue how much a great idea is worth? Approximately $20. Ideas are simply a multiplier of action. Let's have a look at this amazing graph to see how to start a business. You must expand your thoughts by putting them into action. A wonderful concept worth $20 a week is worthless. A $10 million idea executed brilliantly is worth $10 million. Apple debuted the Apple III, a business-oriented personal computer in 1980. Steve Jobs was a firm believer in having the smallest and quietest hardware available. Their entire aim was to provide clients with the best possible user experience through new hardware, software, and services, and it all began with the Apple III. To make the computer run as silently as possible, Jobs insisted on no fans or air vents. Poor execution of a fantastic idea. The Apple III became so heated that internal components began to melt. The product was subsequently cancelled after a recall on the first 14,000 units sold, but he preserved the idea and refined the execution for future goods. Some say Apple's success is due to their brilliant marketing. That is not true, regardless of how you feel about them. Let's have a look at something a little different now. Take a look at Mr. Beast and his burger. He began pushing his own burger after launching a franchise with a virtual restaurant. If you own a small family-owned shop, there were no real stores for this. You can sign up to sell his burger if you want to. You can take a course in which they teach you how to create it, and then you order all of the ingredients and packaging from them. You get to keep the majority of the profits as well. Great implementation of a simple concept. He first introduced the burger at 300 restaurants. They were all quickly sold out. To keep up with the demand, they are opening 50 new shops every week. Based on some basic calculations, his earnings in the first 3 months were about $8 million. Which leads us to the answer to our question. Ridiculously basic ideas provide significant competitive advantages. To begin with, 1. You must solve a real problem for real people. You may quickly test your product in the market and receive immediate feedback. Your entire effort has been concentrated onto a single location. How does your simple product benefit the customer right away? That is the most crucial aspect of business. 2. It allows you to pivot and develop your product with ease. If what you created is terrible and no one wants it, you can use what you've learned to make something else properly. Despite the fact that the Apple III was a huge disaster, the design philosophy hasn't changed. 3. You don't have a strong infrastructure to support you. Infrastructure was only the logistics in Mr. B's situation. It wasn't simple, but imagine having to first develop an actual restaurant business. Yeah, that's a higher hurdle. And 4. If it doesn't work, it won't bankrupt you. A stupidly basic business requires little to no capital. It will fail if you believe you need cash, investors, suppliers, and a slew of other things to get your firm off the ground. It is beneficial to not have enough money to start a business. Most people will crucify you if you say that. Entrepreneurs create ridiculously simple businesses because they must first get one thing right. After that, they scale and then expand. They don't start with an industry-shifting giant, even if they have a grandiose dream of doing so. If the first task is completed successfully, they move on to the next step. Let's figure out how all of these pertains to you specifically. So far, we've established that you need a very simple business with excellent execution. You should be able to describe your business in one line and you shouldn't require any money to get started. Let us look at some examples today. Suppose you wish to start constructing a number of schools. You can begin right now by teaching one person something. It's straightforward. It is completely and openly available right now. Let's imagine you want to start a new Ubisoft or other company and make the games you've always wanted to play. You can start by making a card game using a pen and paper and seeing how well it goes over with your buddies. It's easy, it's free, and you can start doing it right now. Assume you want to be a Hollywood director, working with the best actors and bringing your ideas to life. You might begin by writing a short essay about your day so far and recording it on your phone like a daily vlog. It's straightforward, it's completely free, and you could get ideas online on how you could execute it right now. Basically, ask yourself these 3 questions whenever you have an idea. Is it simple? Do you require any financial assistance? Or are you able to begin right now? If you answered yes to all of them, it's time to get to work. Make something useful or interesting for at least one person today, and you'll get ahead of the competition. So before we end this video, I just want to ask, do you have an idea that could solve a simple problem? Do you think you could put into a business? Share your answers in the comments below. Don't sweat it. Start small and slow and think about the true goal of your business. Execute your solutions in a smooth manner with concrete plans. As always, we thank you for supporting us. If you haven't yet, make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring and valuable content like this. We'll see you in the next video.